The US and China are going toe-to-toe. An illegal Chinese immigrant was sending guns to North Korea, and Peter Griffin strikes fear into the heart of Chinese communists. Then more on this week's China News Headlines. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. This episode is sponsored by Surfshark. Whenever you go online, you really ought to be using a VPN like Surfshark to cover your tracks and protect your identity. I'll tell you more at the end. Cold War 2.0 heats up. The U.S. unleashed another crackdown on China's chip industry. This is the United States' third crackdown on Chinese semiconductors in the last 3 years. It adds 140 Chinese companies to the Entity List, basically companies working on behalf of the CCP. It also slams a bunch of other companies with new export restrictions. Now, China tried to fight back by claiming U.S. chips are no longer safe and urged Chinese companies to buy locally. The problem is China has tried to break its addiction to U.S. tech for ages, but remains years behind other countries technologically. China's Ministry of Commerce called it economic coercion and non-market practices, because if anyone believes in the free market values of capitalism, it's the Chinese Communist Party. But in a big brain move, China has decided if the U.S. won't give them chips, they won't give the U.S. the minerals it needs to make those chips. China has a large hold on the global mineral supply chain. China is responsible for 60% of the world's rare earth mineral production and 85% of its mineral processing, largely because processing rare earths is devastating for the environment, and China doesn't care about that, or how much slave labor it takes. Here's a wild one. An illegal immigrant from China shipped weapons to North Korea from California. Apparently, North Korea paid him $2 million to buy firearms from California. Do you know how many gun laws California has? Wait, I wonder if that means those gun laws don't work. Now, I know what you're thinking, but no, this guy didn't cross the border illegally. He came into the U.S. legally on a student visa in 2012 and just stayed illegally after it expired. The prosecutors have said that since he's illegally in the U.S. from China, he's not allowed to buy firearms or ammunition. Somehow, I don't think an illegal Chinese immigrant gun runner for North Korea cares about the law. And if you thought Cold War 2.0 wasn't hot enough, why don't we throw NATO and Russia in the mix and see if we can't make things more explosive? China has decided to start attacking NATO through sabotage. 2 weeks ago, 2 separate underwater data cables in the Baltic Sea were severed. A Chinese ship just so happened to have crossed both places where the undersea cables were cut after leaving a Russian port. And coincidentally, just after the U.S. approved long-range missile attacks into Russia from Ukraine. China and Russia really have a no-limits partnership. The UK's new cybersecurity chief is calling Russia and China hostile states that use technology to cause maximum disruption and destruction. Ah, the UK grew a pair. That's excellent. Now, NATO is vowing to step up action against Russia and Chinese sabotage, which likely means the US will be spending a lot more money while Europe takes it easy. It's worked so well before. And after the break, Family Guy makes the CCP's hit list. Welcome back. China is angry with Taiwan. Okay, I know I have to be more specific. China is angry that Taiwan's president visited Hawaii. Given that they're putting sweaters on their trees in Hangzhou, I wonder if the CCP is jealous. But while Taiwan President Lai enjoys his trip to Hawaii, Taiwan is trying to discourage people from traveling to China, including Hong Kong and Macau. To which I say, why does anyone think it's a good idea to travel to China? They've opened a hotline to help people gauge the risk. Hello, hotline? Should I travel to China? Why, yes, I am an idiot. Apparently, there's been a surge of Taiwanese citizens going to China over the past year, despite multiple cases of Taiwanese being illegally detained, held, and interrogated in China. So ridiculous. Travel someplace fun and safe, like North Korea. Hello? Why, yes, I'd like to book a trip to North Korea. Why, yes, I am an idiot. But it looks like the CCP is gearing up for an invasion of Taiwan. Chinese officials are traveling to Russia Man, everyone's traveling now except for me. They're traveling to Russia to study the effects of U.S. sanctions. China knows that if it invades Taiwan, they'll likely face the same kinds of sanctions the U.S. hit Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. And they had a devastating effect. Russia's currency, the ruble, is collapsing. It's at its lowest point against the dollar since the Ukraine war began. China's economy is also struggling, so if it's going to survive an invasion of Taiwan, it'll have to sanction-proof itself. But China might have other issues with an invasion. Another top military official has been suspended and is under investigation. Yes, the rot is deep in the PLA. General Miao Hua was the director of the Political Affairs Department of the Central Military Commission. In other words, she's propaganda guy for the military. Except he's been purged for, quote, serious violations of discipline. Since last year, nearly 20 military and defense officials have been removed for corruption. As longtime viewers may have guessed, this is part of a much larger campaign of political infighting within the Chinese Communist Party. Another segment of what I call the people's favorite communist soap opera, general hostility. This is bigger and deeper and weirder than I can get into here. But I have a whole special episode about it coming out soon, exclusively on our new website, ChinaUncensored.tv. Head over there to subscribe and check it out. You will not be disappointed. I'll leave a link below, too. And finally, Family Guy. Hong Kong airline Cathay Pacific is apologizing for an in-flight showing of a Family Guy episode where Peter stands next to the Tank Man. Remember when Hong Kong used to hold massive commemorations for the Tiananmen Square massacre every year? Yes, this is how far Hong Kong has fallen to the CCP. They're afraid of a cartoon. I wonder if they'd be okay with that old Simpsons episode. I mean, that's basically the party line. And did you know that every time you go online, everything you do is potentially compromised? And that's why, no matter where you live, no matter what you do online, you should always be keeping your internet activity private with a VPN, like Surfshark. If you're not taking active steps to protect yourself, everything you do is being tracked and logged by the websites you visit, your internet service provider, and often by your own government. Using a VPN makes you harder to track. Surfshark has servers you can connect to in over 100 countries, more than any other VPN. That makes your connection faster and more reliable. Plus, Surfshark has top-of-the-line encryption and a no-logs policy, meaning they don't collect your browsing data. That's why Surfshark was rated Editor's Choice for the best VPN for privacy and security by PC Mag. So check out Surfshark. With just one Surfshark account, you can connect as many devices as you want. It also comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try out Surfshark risk-free. Go to surfshark.com/uncensored to get up to 4 months extra. That's surfshark.com/uncensored. The link is in the description below. And before YouTube kicks you to some random video, check out the latest episode of my show, Deep Thoughts While Gaming, where I hide controversial topics in video game content. This one is about demons in the game Untitled Goose Game. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.